Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to E-Padashala. This is Dr. S. Prabha. Shall we go through the module on physical fitness assessment? Physical fitness is to the human body what fine tuning is to an engine. Physical fitness is essential part of an well-rounded and well-designed physical activity program for all ages. Before going in detail on physical fitness assessment, I wish to say that we definitely live in the technology era. The developments in technology now have abridged our hard labor. Actually, this sensational development in technology once believed that it will make the work ease and contribute to cheerful life. Science and technological developments from kitchen to big industries completely transformed people to simple pull off a handle or a push off a button. But just pressing the button, all work done without the exertion of physical labor. This in turn made the people to more sophistications and couch potatoes. With less knowledge in health and nutrition, made the condition more adverse, resulting in producing more unfit and unhealthy individuals in the nation. I think we are actually now suffer through the development of science. This module is on physical fitness assessment to be focused with the objectives of understand the meaning of physical fitness, recognize the major two components of physical fitness, and to ascertain the standardized test for evaluating physical fitness components. All of you know that integrating all components of physical fitness into the exercise program is a right way to develop the physical fitness. Nevertheless, regular workout alone is not adequate to be fit. Good diet is also one of the contributing factor to remain in fitness for executing skills at an extreme fitness level. The knowledge of regular intake of healthy diet with vegetables, fruits, complex carbohydrates and lean proteins are less essential. These healthy food choices and regular physical activity facilitate body for daily activities and exercise and to remain physically fit. What do you mean by physical fitness? Physical fitness is a state of general health and well-being, and more precisely the capacity to execute facets of sports, jobs and day-to-day activities. Physical activities is usually attained through right nutrition, modest strenuous physical exercise combined with enough rest. Shall we go through the definitions of physical fitness? Despite the widespread interest in physical fitness, it is still difficult to define it in an acceptable manner. Convincingly, the President Council of Physical Fitness and Sports defines physical fitness as follows: the ability to carry out daily tasks with vigor and alertness without undue fatigue and with ample energy to enjoy leisure time pursuits and to meet the unforeseen emergencies. It further indicates physical fitness is an individual matter. In performing everyday tasks will determine the kind and degree of physical fitness that is necessary. A person who is able to meet the demands of the day without difficulty and with relative care would be higher on the scale towards the maximum level. Another definition on physical fitness is, according to Bucher, the ability of an individual to live a full and balanced life. It involves physical, mental, emotional, social and spiritual factors and the capacity for their wholesome expressions. Physical fitness refers to the practical performance of exercise that calls for the number of experiences. They are the feeling of happiness in the process of correct performance of movement, feeling of confidence, self-satisfaction, surprise and unhappy in the process of confusion and disappointment, etc. At the undergraduate level, you would have learned the meaning of and definitions of physical fitness, but now we shall see the major two components of physical fitness in detail. Regular physical activity promotes physical fitness. Physical fitness is a condition of the body that results from regular physical activity. The two common types of physical fitness are health-related physical fitness, skill-related or motor-related physical fitness. Now, what do you mean by health-related physical fitness? Health-related physical fitness relates to the general health of which components are very basic to maintain a disease-free life throughout the lifetime. Falls defines health-related physical fitness as those aspects of physiological and psychological functioning which are believed that some protection against degenerative type disease such as coronary heart disease, obesity, and vicious muscle skeletal disorder. 4 parts of health-related fitness are body composition, cardiovascular endurance, muscular strength and endurance, and the last one is flexibility. Let us see the 4 parts of health-related fitness and its assessment using standardized fitness test in detail. What is body composition? Body composition denotes to the proportion of fat, bone, and muscle that encompasses the human body, often stated as a relative versus fat-free mass. It is the commonly used method for estimating body mass index. Underwater weighing is the best method for measuring the body composition, and the other methods are bioelectrical impedance, skin fold testing, and measures of circumferences. Shall we see the underwater weighing as a standardized test for evaluating body composition in detail? Underwater weighing. It is marked as a gold standard hydrostatic testing for its highest accuracy for indirect assessment methods. The procedure: underwater weighing can be executed in the water tank. The subject will be tied with a belt to the automatic chair and the chair will completely go under the water. The subject to wear light and thin dress. The subject to perform maximum forcible exhalation being lowered in water. In that position, the subject has to hold the breath for 5 seconds and the weight is recorded. The same procedure has to be done for 10 times. Record the residual lung volume before taking the body volume with the help of the given formula. Body density is equal to body weight in air divided by body volume. Body volume is equal to body weight in air minus body weight underwater divided by water temperature correction, the residual lung volume. What is cardiovascular endurance? Cardiovascular endurance is the ability to continue or persist in strenuous tasks involving large muscle groups for extended period of time. This test can be assessed by 2 methods. Field assessment can be done. At the same time, laboratory assessment also can be done for evaluating cardiovascular endurance. This examines also the efficacy of the heart to bring oxygen to the working muscles and is related to the ability to accomplish a moderate to greater intensity for a long period of time. Cardiovascular fitness can be assessed by Cooper 12-minute run and walk test, step test, etc. It can also be measured in the gym by conducting 3-minute step test or stress test on a treadmill. Shall we see the Cooper 12-minute run and walk as a standardized test for evaluating cardiovascular endurance? The equipment required for conducting this test are running track, marker cones and a stopwatch. Procedure: place marker in the regular intervals everywhere on the track to help in assessing the finished distance. Participants run or walk for 12 minutes and the entire distance completed is noted. Scoring can be used by the standardized norm table for general guidelines can be used for interpreting the results, and there are also several equations that can be used to estimate the VO2 max. Now, what is muscular strength and endurance? Muscular endurance, it is the ability of the muscle or a group of muscle to exert force against resistance or to withstand the resistance for long time. The other few general field tests for muscular strength and endurance are push-ups, pull-ups, flexed arm hang, abdominal curl-up or 1 RM repetition maximum test can also be done. Shall we now see the press-up test procedure to test muscular endurance? It is the test to evaluate the strength of the shoulder, arm muscles and chest. It can be done by two ways. One, by number of presses till exhaustion, and number two, the number of presses in 30 seconds or for a minute. Equipment required are yoga mat or a gymnastic mat, a stopwatch and with an assistant. Procedure for this test are lie down on the mat in a prone position with hands kept shoulder width apart and arms fully extended. For the command, drop the body until the elbow reaches 90 degree and back to the starting position. Try to do the same as many times as possible within the stipulated time. The total number of presses as per procedure only to be counted and recorded. This can be marginally modified for females or for unfit persons. For those, knees can be placed on the mat. Let us see vertical jump to measure the muscular strength. Vertical jump. This test is also known as sergeant jump. This helps to estimate the explosive power of the leg muscles. Equipment required are measuring tape, marking wall and a chalk. Procedure: the subject to stand sidewise to the wall and keep the feet flat on the ground. In the standing position, by raising the hands with the chalk to mark the reaching point, take half squat and jump as high as possible by projecting arms and legs to the highest point and mark the reachable height. The distance is in between to be noted and the best of 3 to be recorded with a break in between 30 to 40 seconds. How flexibility is defined? Flexibility is the complete array of movement in a joint or a group of joints that is possible in a transitory exertion with or without the partner. It can be measured directly or indirectly by goniometer, and other related tests are backstretch test and sit and reach test. We will now look into the procedure for sit and reach test. The equipment required for this test are sit and reach box, or alternately a ruler can be used, and a step or a box. The subject has to sit on the floor with the stretched legs without shoes, the feet placed against pressed on the floor, palms facing downwards, fully stretched at elbows. The subject reaches forward near the measuring lines as far as possible. The length of both the hands should remain at same level, one hand not advance the other. The subject to maintain the fully extended position for a while and a distance to be recorded. Whole movement to be gradually done, not with a jerk. Scoring. Record the score nearest to the centimeter as the distance reached by the hand. The same test can be modified for children and those who are with small limb length. What do you mean by motor performance fitness? Motor performance fitness is more practical and specific, which relates to the specific development of components related to the game or sport. Skill-related fitness is the capacity to execute the abilities used in specific games and sports. There are 6 classes of motor-related fitness. They are balance, agility, speed, reaction time, coordination, and power. Balance. It is the ability to stay in control of body movement to maintain equilibrium in a stationary or a moving position via the synchronized actions of bodily functions. There are 2 forms of balance. Static balance is maintained when the subject is in the stationary position, and dynamic balance is when the subject is in a moving position. We shall now look into the procedure for a balance test. Balance test needs the participant to balance on one leg on the ball of the foot. Equipment required for this test are stopwatch, paper, pencil. The procedure for this test are: without the shoes, Place the non-strong foot against the side of the strong foot knee and hands on the hip. Then the subject has to raise the heel to balance with the ball of the foot. The stopwatch starts. Remove the shoes and place the hands on the hips. Then position. The watch gets stopped for the following errors. The hands come off the hips, the strong leg hops, the other leg loses contact with the knee, the strong foot heel touches the floor. The scoring procedure is the best of 3 trials taken in accordance and then the time to be recorded in seconds. Now, what is agility and why it is important skill in sports? Agility is the ability to move quickly and change directions while maintaining control and balance. Good agility requires a combination of speed, balance, power, and coordination. It is a very much important aspect for many team games. Procedure for Illinois agility test. The equipments required are flat surface, cones, stopwatch, and a tape. The length and width of the agility course is 10 by 5 meters. To mark the start, finish, and to 2 turning points, 4 cones are used. Another 4 cones are placed in the middle with equal distance. Each cone in the middle is spread out 3.3 meters apart. Participants have to take the prone position for the command facing the starting line. The stopwatch started on the command go and the subject leads in a specified direction and complete the course as quick as possible. Results: the score under 15.2 seconds for a male and less than 17 seconds for a female is considered excellent. Now, what is coordination? Coordination is the ability to move 2 or more body parts under control, smoothly and efficiently. It is a complicated skill that requires other motor components at greater level to execute the skill. We now see alternate hand-wall toss test to evaluate hand-eye coordination. Equipment required are tennis ball, concrete wall, measuring tape and a stopwatch. The subject has to stand facing wall 2 to 3 meters behind the restraining line. The subject has to throw the ball against the wall from one hand and to be caught with the opposite hand. Again, do the same by throwing the ball from the opposite hand and to be caught with the initial hand. Continue the same for the stipulated time period for 30 seconds. The subject will be scored based on the points obtained for 30-second period. Next comes is reaction time. Reaction time testing measures a person's swiftness to react to a signal. An athlete's ability to react displays how quickly and successfully can make the decisions and initiate actions. The key approaches can hasten the choice-making process to give athletes an advantage in competitive situations. Reaction time can be improved by explosive exercise and sport-specific practice. Let us now see the procedure for ruler drop test. This test is to evaluate the simple reaction time and also named as Nelson finger reaction test. Equipment required are wooden ruler 1 meter and an assistant. The subject to sit in a comfortable position on a chair by resting the hands on the table edge. To hold the index finger and thumb 2 inches apart beyond the desk in a horizontal position. On the ruler, the dark black line will be marked and is known as the concentration zone. The assistant to hold the ruler with the 0 centimeter line on the top of the athlete's thumb. The subject to keep the eyes on the concentration zone. As soon as the ruler drops, the subject has to catch the ruler. The scoring can be done between the top of the subject's thumb and that bottom of the ruler is recorded. And what do you mean by speed? Speed is the ability to achieve a motor skill as quick as possible. It is the capacity to move rapidly, which is a vital quality in numerous sports. Reaction time is closely associated with speed. Speed depends on many factors like muscle fiber spectrum, elasticity, neuromuscular coordination, and explosive power. We will see 30-meter acceleration as one of the tests to evaluate speed. The main objective is to assess how quick the athlete is accelerating efficiently and effectively from a stationary position. We shall now look into the procedure. The equipment required are 30 meters marked distance and a stopwatch. The subject to stand behind the starting line in a ready position. For the signal, the athlete to sprint as fast as possible to the finish line and will be timed for the total distance, and it is recorded. It is better to take 3 trials with enough rest in between, and the fastest recorded time will be taken into consideration, and the below presented standard scoring norms may be used to assess the speed for 30 meters acceleration test. Now, what is power? For what sports this skill is required? Power is the ability to apply muscular test swiftly. It is the tempo of work performing. On the ground, power is associated with speed and strength. Explosive skills need power fitness, which includes force with obvious acceleration. Olympic lifting and shot putting are the examples that shows a rapid pace of force development. Now we shall see the procedure for Margaria-Kalaman test. The equipments required for this are stopwatch, weighing scales. Procedure: the test needs the athlete to raise up a set of steps to start the proper warm-up. The starting line to be marked with cones 6 meters in front of the first step. To place the other cones to one side of the 3rd, 6th and 9th steps. The vertical distance will be measured from the 3rd to 9th step in meters, and the weight of the athlete to be considered from the 6-meter line sprint to the flight of steps, taking 3 steps at a time of landing on the 3rd, 6th and the 9th steps. The time will be recorded for the 3rd step and the 9th step. To sum up, physical fitness has a vital role in one's life from time immemorial. Every individual should develop the physical fitness qualities for a happy and effective living. In order to be physically fit, one has to involve in continuous and regular physical activities. The progress of physical fitness qualities have to be evaluated then and there with standardized tests. Physical fitness is one's richest possession. It cannot be purchased. It has to be gained through regular physical exercise, is a famous saying.